Learning any skill faster is a superpower we all wish we had. Whether it's mastering the guitar, becoming fluent in a new language, excelling in a sport, or coding your first app, the thought of doing it in record time is both exciting and intimidating. But here's the thing. Anyone can learn any skill faster by following some key principles. It's not magic or reserved for geniuses. It's about understanding how your brain works, leveraging strategies, and putting in consistent effort. Let's dive deep into how you can make this happen, step by step, with plenty of real-life examples to keep it engaging. The first thing you need to do is embrace focus like your life depends on it. Think of focus as a magnifying glass. When the sun's rays are scattered, they're warm but harmless. But when a magnifying glass concentrates those rays on one spot, it can start a fire. That's what focus does for learning. Have you ever tried to study while juggling distractions? Maybe your phone kept buzzing, or the TV played in the background. Those distractions dilute your attention, making it impossible to absorb what you're trying to learn. On the other hand, when you give your full, undivided attention to one task, your brain enters a flow state where learning happens much faster. For instance, when Serena Williams trains, she doesn't half-heartedly hit tennis balls while scrolling Instagram. She's fully present, practicing with intention. To learn faster, set aside dedicated time, silence all distractions, and focus solely on the skill you want to master. The second thing is understanding the Pareto Principle, also known as the 80-20 rule. This principle is a game changer for learning. It states that 80% of results come from 20% of the effort. Let's say you want to learn to play the guitar. Instead of trying to memorize hundreds of songs, focus on mastering a few basic chords like G, C, D, and E minor. These 4 chords appear in countless songs, meaning you'll quickly be able to play dozens of tunes just by nailing this small set. The same goes for language learning. If you master the most common 1,000 words in any language, you can understand about 80% of everyday conversations. The idea is to identify the most impactful components of the skill and focus your energy there. Think of it as aiming for the biggest bang for your buck. The third thing is deliberate practice. Not all practice is created equal. Let me explain this with an example. Imagine 2 people learning to shoot basketball hoops. Person A practices by casually shooting the ball for an hour, not really paying attention to their technique. Person B spends the same hour working specifically on their free throws, focusing on improving their hand placement and follow through with every shot. By the end of the hour, Person B has made noticeable progress, while Person A is still at the same level. That's the difference between practice and deliberate practice. Deliberate practice is intentional. It focuses on the areas where you're struggling, which is where growth happens. If you want to learn faster, don't just go through the motions. Practice with purpose. The fourth thing is breaking the skill into bite-sized chunks. This is crucial because attempting to tackle everything at once can be overwhelming. Imagine you're learning to swim. If you try to master floating, kicking, breathing, and arm strokes all at once, it's overwhelming. But if you start by learning to float, then practice your kicks, and then work on breathing techniques, it becomes manageable. Another example is writing. Instead of trying to write a full novel on your first attempt, start with short stories. By breaking the process into smaller parts, you build confidence and make steady progress. The fifth thing is seeking immediate feedback. Feedback is like having a GPS for your learning journey. It tells you whether you're on the right track or if you need to adjust course. Let's say you're learning to cook. If you try a new recipe and no one tells you that the dish is too salty or undercooked, how will you improve? Feedback doesn't have to come from others, it can be self-assessment too. For example, if you're learning to play the piano, recording yourself and listening back can reveal mistakes you might not notice while playing. The faster you get feedback and act on it, the quicker you'll improve. The sixth thing is consistency. There's a saying, you don't plant a tree by watering it once. Learning a skill requires regular, consistent effort. Imagine a bodybuilder who works out intensely for one day and then skips the gym for a month. No muscles will be built that way. The same principle applies to learning. Even just 20 to 30 minutes a day can make a huge difference over time. If you're learning a new language, for instance, daily practice, even if it's just reviewing flashcards or having a short conversation, will keep your progress steady. The seventh thing is to view failure as a stepping stone, not a dead end. Think about when you learned to ride a bike. How many times did you fall before you could pedal smoothly? Those falls weren't failures, they were lessons. Yet, as adults, we often fear failing. The truth is, failure is the best teacher. When you get something wrong, your brain pays attention, processes the mistake, and adjusts. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before inventing the light bulb. Each failure brought him one step closer to success. The key is to embrace failure as part of the process and not let it discourage you. The eighth thing is visualization. Your brain is a powerful tool, and it can't distinguish between real and vividly imagined experiences. Studies have shown that athletes who visualize themselves performing a skill, like a gymnast mentally rehearsing a routine, perform better than those who don't. If you're learning to speak in public, spend a few minutes each day imagining yourself confidently delivering a speech. Picture the audience clapping and you speaking fluently. Visualization primes your mind for success and makes the actual experience feel more familiar and achievable. The ninth thing is learning from experts. When you're trying to master something new, why start from scratch when someone has already paved the way? If you're learning to play chess, study the games of grandmasters. If you're picking up photography, watch tutorials from professional photographers who've mastered the craft. Experts have spent years perfecting their skills and can save you time by showing you the shortcuts and avoiding common pitfalls. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Stand on the shoulders of giants. The 10th thing is teaching what you've learned. Teaching is one of the most effective ways to deepen your understanding of a skill. Let's say you're learning a new software tool like Excel. Try teaching a friend or colleague how to use it. When you teach, you're forced to organize your thoughts and explain concepts clearly, which strengthens your own grasp of the material. Plus, you'll quickly realize any gaps in your knowledge and can go back to fill them. The last thing, and perhaps the most important, is to enjoy the process. Learning isn't just about reaching the finish line. It's about the journey. Remember when you were a kid and learning new things was fun? You weren't worried about being perfect. You were just curious and excited to try. Rekindle that curiosity. If you're learning to draw, let yourself play with colors and experiment with different techniques. If you're learning to dance, embrace the joy of movement rather than fixating on getting every step right. When you enjoy the process, you'll stay motivated and make faster progress. To sum it up, learning any skill faster isn't about being naturally gifted or having unlimited time. It's about focus, smart strategies, and consistent effort. It's about breaking the skill into manageable pieces, practicing deliberately, seeking feedback, and embracing failure. And most importantly, it's about staying curious and enjoying the ride. Whatever skill you're dreaming of mastering, start today. Take that first step, apply these principles, and you'll be amazed at what you can achieve. Remember, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Take that step today. If you found this video helpful and inspiring, don't forget to like it, share it with others who might benefit from it, and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Your support helps us create even better videos for you. So thank you for being a part of this journey.